The New York Red Bulls absolutely dominated in total shots and possession against Austin FC last night. They only came away with 1 point in a 1-1 draw. So let's break down the match and the Red Bulls, I guess, fading playoff chances with Seeing Red New York podcast host Mark Fishkin. Mark, thanks for joining us again. You were at the match last night. Talk about the environment. Talk about just the overall vibe and your key takeaways from last night's game.
Yeah, I mean, Red Bull Arena, Brandon, is loud even when the crowd may not be the largest. And there was a good vibe last night at Red Bull Arena. You know, last night the Red Bulls outshot Austin 16-3, but they could only manage to score on Austin's own goal in the 7th minute. The Red Bulls played nearly a perfect first 45 minutes, but allowed Austin's only shot of the half right before the break, a header by Sebastian Driussi in the 6-yard box to go in, which knotted the match at 1, which turned out to be the final score. The Red Bulls may have also lost forward Dante Van Zier to injury early in the first half after he fell from a tough challenge onto his lower back. And Van Zier, who created New York's goal, has battled through injuries and suspensions all season long, and losing him so early last night dampened the Red Bulls' attack for the rest of the match.
All right, so now they could be down Van Zier for who knows how long. Right now, I talked to John Tolkien a couple of weeks ago at the Giants game. He still seemed upbeat about the Red Bulls' chances of making it to the playoffs. But let me talk to you. Let me go to the media. This is media to media. What do you think it's going to take for the Red Bulls to push through the next 5 games and slide into the playoffs?
Yeah, the Red Bulls are likely going to have to win 3 or 4 of the remaining 5 matches to avoid missing the MLS Cup playoffs for the first time since 2009, when gas cost just $2.40 a gallon and the top grossing movie at the box office was the OG Avatar. The Red Bulls have winnable matches ahead of them if they can somehow discover the scoring touch that's eluded them all season long. After this weekend at DC, New York hosts a badly slumping Chicago Fire team that hasn't scored in 5 games and has lost 5 of their last 6. Then it's a trip to league leader Cincinnati, who hopefully will have clinched the Supporters' Shield by then and may play a rotated lineup against the Red Bulls. Then New York hosts a really bad Toronto team that's the only team below New York on the Eastern table, and then decision day at Nashville, which will be very tough. But if Red Bull wants to continue their playoff streak, they're going to have to get all 3 points at DC this Saturday.
The player in me or the athlete in me is like, let's do it. Let's line up and play 90. But then the media side of me is like, all right, 3 out of 5, and they're struggling to score. That's going to be something that's hard. You mentioned DC United. They got them on Saturday in DC. What are your thoughts going into another must-win game? What are the keys to the match?
Yeah, you know, it's supposed to rain all weekend, Brandon, both here and in DC. And when these teams play each other, it's incredibly chippy. This is an OG rivalry back to 1996. So I'm not expecting a beautiful match by any objective standard. The game will likely be decided on set pieces, and given the Red Bulls' ability to defend them well down the stretch has been pretty poor, as was the case last night, it could mean trouble for New York. Look for central defenders Sean Nealis and Andres Reyes to get all the way up into the box on corners and free kicks and try and knock them down and in. It's going to be a sloppy pitch, and so technical players like Luquinhas will likely be unable to really dribble his way through the defense. One bright spot may be Red Bulls forward Jorge Cabezas. He joined the team during the transfer window on loan during the summer, and he showed a little bit last night against Austin. He's 6'1". He has decent foot skills, so we'll see. Keep in mind, Brandon, the Red Bulls have won just once on the road all season long, and it's a tough assignment. But with the rain, could be a big equalizer. New York just, stop me if you've heard this, has to find the back of the net.
Yeah, New York is winless in 5 straight, and that includes back-to-back draws. They have to get that ball in the back of the net. Mark, really quick, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Mark Fishkin, very, very straight up. And then the podcast is the Seeing Red podcast. You can find them at Seeing Red NY or Seeing Red Pod. Thanks, Brandon.
All right, thanks for joining us.